right now.
It's very flattering that people are calling us the West Coast Nationals. I don't think we're there yet.
Who are you rolling with?
I am rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
I feel like I see less patience in the hobby today. And I want to get your thoughts on that. When you hear of the large dollar amounts now around PMGs, what do you think?
What it takes for someone to spend that much money on any card.
Fanatics did something tonight I had never heard about. They have a lottery.
We got you on the lot.
Oh my goodness, we're both on the line.
Hey, Nick, you got to let me know who you're rolling with.
I'm rolling with FD.
I don't think that the fact that they did Be Friends and Jackass is going to have any impact on how they treat sports cards.
So I asked you, FD, since we're rolling with FD.
Let's roll, man. What's up?
I never would have thought a little piece of cardboard would change my life the way it has in the last 4 years.
And the hobby is alive and well.
Alive
FD.
and doing very well.
Alive and well.
You got to let people know who you're rolling.
I'm rolling with FD.
You got to let the people know who you're rolling with, man.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
Hey, what's up, everyone? How we doing? This is Impromptu Thursday. And I'm happy to be here. Thursday, October 13th. We're sitting officially one day before the Del Mar show. I'm extremely happy to be here. We'll have Bambino Sports Cars on here shortly. Very shortly. I'm actually sending them some stuff right now. How's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody good? Just let me get this stuff out to Bambino. Make sure we're good here. Make sure we're good, people. Oh, Bambino's here. Very good. Now, I've been excited. So, I first met Bambino Sports Cars in Chicago at the National 2021. He happened to buy some cards from me, but we had a great interaction. I loved the spirit when I first saw him. So, let me bring in Bambino Sports Cars. What's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going, FD?
What's going on with you?
Doing well.
What's new and exciting? Now, did you go to a show recently out there?
Yeah, almost every weekend it seems like.
Tell us about the show. What show did you go to and how was it?
Most recent, I did some local shows most recently, and then right before that was the Philadelphia show or the Philly show.
Mm-hmm. How was the Philly show?
It was good. It was great.
Bambino, Big John says hi. Big John's a regular to the show.
Hello.
So at the Philly show, so let me just tell you about LA shows. What I've noticed. Somebody else may be watching this and say, FD LA shows are a little bit different than that in their perspective, but there's a lot of modern on tables, very little vintage. That's starting to become more and more, I would think. And then as the market has changed, people are moving to something that's a little bit less volatile. And then also, people talk comps all the time. I may be at your table, man. I may pull my phone out. I may look up what something is sold on. What is 130 Point telling me? What is eBay telling me? What did I see on Alt? Do you experience that same thing in Philly? As far as the cards you see on the tables, people talking about comps, how does that go?
Yeah, I mean, every day, everywhere you go, I think on card shows, online, yeah, those are really the two main spots. Everyone tries to look at comps and basically use that as a starting point. I would say is fairly common unless I go into a local show and sometimes if somebody really wants a card, they know what the comp is, but they're willing to go a little bit more aggressive towards it.
Okay. I've also heard some vendors saying recently that they're seeing more sales at 75% of comp than trying to sell full comp. Have you seen something like that similar out there?
Run it back again.
Vendors are saying, sellers are saying that they see more sales when they're selling at 75% of comp than trying to sell at full comp.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really in any industry, I would say, of a sales background, and anytime you throw the word 25% off or
True.
20% off, like you're gonna get more sales. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying I want to sell at that necessary rate all the time, but I'm definitely more willing to, if I bought it right, just to get more cards in collectors' hands and to other people's hands. Like it's rotating rather than being a museum. Some people, they want to sell at 150, 200%, or 100% or nothing, or 99% or nothing, and they might sit on their cards for months, years. I've seen plenty of vendors have the same cards for years now, since the national, and it's like, because they need that price or nothing.
So do you see, let me ask this question. So are the people who are sitting on cards for a long duration of time, do you find that some of those people still say, hey, I go to this show, I didn't sell any cards?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely still a thing. I mean, I think you definitely have museum vendors. I would say it's definitely more common when you see a lot of vintage dealers. I was talking to another dealer about that earlier this week. It's like they've had the cards for 20 years. Like, I'm just throwing a number out there. The card might be worth, 10K now. They're not even 2K into it, but they still don't want to sell it unless they get their full 10K or 9,900. Like I'll sit on it for another 20 years. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, I would say, but
there's nothing wrong.
You definitely have museum vendors for sure still around.
You just introduced me to the term museum vendors. I like that term.
Yeah.
I like that term. So we got Purple Haze here saying, how's it going, fellas? Love what you collect. Oh, love what you collect. New logo. We roll
you can collect.
Tri-State area in the building. So let's take a step back. Why don't you tell us more about your background? How you got into collecting cars or selling cars? I know we chatted back and forth about playing football back in college. Walk us through. Tell us more about you.
All right, I'll get you through my origin story. Try to keep it short and sweet. So I started collecting right around '99. Actually, Pokemon first came out. I had sports cards still too. I still got my original sports card binder and a bunch of the Pokemon cards actually. But what got me into selling was I got a first edition Charizard back then. I didn't know what I had. I knew it was hot, and I sold it for $100. Mom's like, how the hell did you get $100? And long story short, I sold that Charizard, which I regrettably, obviously, worth a lot more now if you kept it. But it kind of got me into buying and selling. So I opened up my eBay. Shout out to eBay. Probably shouldn't say it out loud, but I wasn't old enough to have there. I think I updated all my information, but I would do stuff like when I bought cards, I would buy and sell it at school. I would send money in a top loader and the note cards around it, and that's how I would pay. It was definitely different age back in day, and I've done it sparingly in between time, but really when I got back into it again was when I had my first son Giovanni. I found some like old turtles and stuff on my mom's house in the attic, and I saw a lot up on OfferUp pop up for like $20. I sold that for a couple $100, and I got to keep all the figures that I wanted as a kid. So then I realized you could buy and sell. So that was like circa 2016, 15, 16, and I was living at Florida at the time. So I would set up a lot of Comic Cons. So I have Comic Cons like every weekend in Florida. Then I started breaking. Got into sports cards, started breaking. Got some distributor accounts opened up, and that was really fun. I started setting up local shows in Florida. And basically that's kind of fast forward to now, like I saw you at the National. I've been focusing more on singles and some of the non-sports stuff. than I have been breaking.
Now, I remember when we met at the National, you were buying stuff.
Yeah, I'm always buying.
Like, what are some of the stuff that you're kind of looking at to buy? Just so people know more about you, if they have stuff for sale, they want to do business with you. What are some things you consider when you look at buying opportunities?
I like to get obscure stuff that you don't see every day. Like I remember you had those Carmelo auto, like rookie patch autos. Like they were numbered. It's still you don't see that every day. I just have such a wide variety, so it's like it's almost simple. Like just show it to me and I'll buy it. Like if it makes sense. Like I don't know, from Marvel card to show you some cool cards I got back. I made a little post, but like here's a 3D card Marvel with CSG I just got back.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell.
Hard grade.
Yeah. But like he's like throwing that. I do to sports cards, left everything at my feet. I got the big names like Luca. This is number 49, rookie, Crown Royale.
Oh, that's a great card, man. Bambino,
more Marvel, Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
Got some stuff you don't see every day. Got some graded action figures. So literally a little bit of everything. Got comic books as well. So mainly, I would say the main categories are cards, comics, and action figures.
Okay. And how old is your son, Giovanni?
Giovanni just turned 7.
Okay. My son is about to turn 7 in December.
Awesome.
It's cool. Do you think, has he showed, like my son will get sticks at the park and he wants his sticks organized in a certain way. He'll pick up rocks and he has his rock collection. Does your son seem to like to put things together in an orderly manner like that?
Definitely.
Do you think?
Not everything, but there's like 2 or 3 things. Rocks, like they'll set them out and make a really nice line of them.
Yep.
And then his cars.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. Similar, man. Similar. It'd be cool to meet him one day. When are you coming to? Do you travel for shows?
Yeah, I really wanted to go to Del Mar. I've got great memories in that area, but I'm going to go to a Collecticon in Denver this weekend.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool. Collecticons are cool.
Yeah,
I think you'll enjoy that. The Burbank show is coming up, Super Bowl weekend in 2023, and then I don't know what's coming after that, but there'll be shows. I know they'll
want to check it. I heard nothing but great things. That's a great operation over there. How the card father had everything categorized for all these years, all the sets,
yes,
by number, and it's wild.
Yeah, that kind of interesting. Where they can, you can buy something off eBay. They have, I think, a code or information on it where once it's sold, it's pulled out of their inventory system, so they couldn't double dip and sell twice. And if you go to the shop and want a card, and it's back in the warehouse, they can put their hands on that card in a matter of minutes because of how it's picked and location. And it's extremely organized to have 4 million cards in a warehouse and be able to put your hands on it. Very organized.
That's awesome.
So let's jump into a little basketball. Recently, Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole.
Yeah, I saw that video.
What did you think when you first saw that? You play sports. You've been in locker rooms.
I think we're just in a different era now. So, like, when I was playing sport, we both had our helmet on when we took them off, but I've been into a situation like that before, for sure.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, like
teammate or opponent?
Say again.
Teammate or opponent?
It was a teammate. I played cornerback, and I like to play a lot of press coverage.
Mm-hmm. Everybody out there, that's physical. That's up in the receivers, everything.
Yeah, so I'm not really I'm not the biggest guy for sure in my position. So that was a way I found a way to get leverage. And I don't know, the guy just didn't like it, and it wasn't as bad as that. Like, it was definitely not as bad as that situation. But I've seen those type of. I just think it was a little too far because there's no. I guess back to your question. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man.
I think we're in a different era, but the way that happened, it was almost like he caught him off guard. He didn't, because Jordan Poole pushed him to get up out of his face first. But you definitely, I don't think he was expecting that. And that's what happened when I guess I've been in the Jordan Poole situation. I didn't have my helmet on, so I didn't get knocked out or anything. But, kind of got into a scuffle. But it was a similar situation, Some push him, get out of your way, and then you just snuffed him. I just think Draymond Green, he's already in hot water. And it's like, I don't know. I guess playing back to sports, it's like having your I don't know, like a huge linebacker, like snuff a freshman wide receiver in the face.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 110 pounds wet. I think it's uncalled for, and it shouldn't definitely be happening.
Yeah, I agree with that. I had never seen anything like that. I've seen people start wrestling with each other. I've seen people pushing each other. I've never seen anyone hit someone like that. I agree. Jordan Poole seemed to me to be shocked, like he was this. I don't even think he ever thought anything like that would happen. But in Dave's sense, right? I've just thought they say that they sat down, talked. I think 1-on-1, face to face, and I just wonder, like, we can all work with people. We've all went to jobs and we've worked with people that I don't know if I want to hang out with.
Right.
I just wonder what that working relationship would be like. I believe both are at a level in their careers where they know when it's about real business on the court, stuff like that. So I don't see that being hindered. But it's just interesting, man. And I predicted earlier, even before this, that Draymond Green wouldn't be on the team following this season. And I still don't think Draymond Green will be on the team next year. There's been some talk that he said he wanted to play with LeBron. He'd like to be with the Lakers. There's also a statement that he made end of last year, that he would like to one day wear a Detroit Pistons jersey. He's probably going to be picking one of those teams, or maybe even a few other teams may come up. He was on the LeBron showed us in the barbershop, and I saw a clip today where he said that when you come into the NBA, you have to understand who you are, what's your talent, what do you bring to the team. He made a statement that he knew that Golden State lacked that dog kind of player, the player that was ultra aggressive, kind of in people's faces. And I've heard Draymond say before that he sees himself as a younger Dennis Rodman. So he said he could come out and shoot 50% from the 3-point line, but that wasn't going to keep him on the team and keep him on the court. It was going to doing stuff that Steph doesn't do, Clay doesn't do, other people don't do, and that's to be like the enforcer on the team. We know from watching basketball back in the day, if you look at the 70s, the 80s, and then even part of the 90s, different teams had enforcers. I guess that's what he sees as his differentiation to stay with the Golden State Warriors or play at a high level and continue to win rings. But and then I think in his apology, he said that he had some stuff going on off the court from home that was bothering him. But it's going to be an interesting year for Draymond Green, because I think you got some young guys. Kuminga's coming up. Poole is getting stronger. Looney is playing at a high level. You got Wiseman trying to learn. You could maybe do without Draymond Green at some point.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think you brought up some other points, some good points too. I think I'll try to make my analogy, irrelevant, I guess, of my past experience, because like I was painting the picture of playing corner, and we were in the middle of one-on-ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole was just chilling, and Draymond Green walked up to him. It wasn't like when you drew in the picture of the 90s, it was a physical game. It wasn't like they're in the middle of a play and that sparked it off.
No.
I guess my analogy before is like null and void. It was pointless.
I think there was a little chirp. There was a little bit of walking single, triple, your turnover waiting to happen. There was some chirping going on. And one person kind of went over the top on that thing. But, you and I, Bambino, could do some chirping, man. But I just never went there, man. It was nothing for me to go there.
No, yeah, I agree. I think, and it's interesting too because he's the vet. Like
that's what everybody said.
That's what I'm reports. It's a senior, like taking on a 110-pound wide receiver.
Like when I was in high school, we had 7th and 8th graders walking around this different wing of the school.
Oh yeah, there you go, like a JV league. There.
Yeah, it's like me picking on one of them. Yeah,
I know they're both grown men, and I know they're both on the starting roster. Like, it's just I don't know. And that's the thing too. Like the league is just different now.
Yeah, love what you collect. I've also been in a situation like this as well, doing a high school basketball game. Interesting. No, man, sports, man. I guess certain people tiptoe that line. They just don't know what to turn that thing.
I mean, I'm not saying I agree with, but when you say it's sports, it's that dog. Like it's just a different. It's just like you said. It's that dog. I don't know if there's an analogy in the non-sports world, but it's like. Fortunately, it's a competitive sport. It's physical.
And I've heard people say, which is true, if you and I work together, and I struck you, we were talking, and I punched you, I don't have a job. But I will want people to know, and I don't know if people wrap their heads around this, like sports is different than that. It's just different.
Yeah.
I didn't make it up. I didn't make the culture. It's different.
Yeah.
I've seen guys.
I think it's interesting too, though, because it's like in the NFL, like I feel like it would have been more harsh penalties. Like when you have you have like these problem players, like stuff happens and boom, suspend. Like you got the whole Devontae Adams thing. Who knows what's gonna come of that? Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's almost like a different spotlight for them, and it's a more physical sport.
Well, Portis with Milwaukee, when he was with the Bulls, he punched a teammate, caused physical injury to the face of the other person, and was suspended 8 games. Yeah. Golden State decided that they were going to let them talk about it.
Yeah, there's been no update with Draymond, right? There's no update still besides he left and he's coming back.
Yeah, he practiced today. He's going to play in the last preseason game tomorrow versus Denver. And then he'll be back for ring ceremony. I really think, and some people may say FD wrong, I don't think they wanted to take him out of the ring ceremony. That's why I don't think he's getting suspended.
They don't want to take him out of what?
The ring ceremony. The ring ceremony is coming up versus the Lakers.
Okay.
I don't think they want to take him out of that. So that's probably why he didn't get suspended. But I don't know if you guys would say that. What's that?
Definitely a lot of politics when you get to that level. Like you said, I think that's what also makes it different. A regular day job, if you and I are working at, I don't know, wherever, a regular day job, Best Buy or something, and you get into a scuffle, there's not as much politics versus, you're in the league getting that amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, more controversy, I guess.
And Draymond definitely helps that team. And it's, probably sad that it comes down to that, but it comes down to that. So we're talking about Devontae Adams. That kind of surprised me.
Did you see, before we get further, did you see both angles?
I saw a back angle behind him, and I saw the side angle. Was there another one? But the back angle I saw was real quick. He was up on the guy.
Let me see if I can find it.
Like the Black Panther hat, by the way.
Thank you. Video. Second. It popped up on my Twitter or something. Let me see. I think I might have it. I just found it. And it's really a completely different view of the whole situation. Let me see.
Bambino. Let's see it.
I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can turn it sideways.
It's like the guy stepped into his path.
Yeah, that's what it shows more of that view, where it's like the guy literally walks right into his path. I'm not that technology savvy right now on the spot.
That's all good.
Let me see if I can.
I think it's the same video I saw.
Yeah, and it just I don't know, can't figure it out. But it shows more of a like, basically the guy runs right in front of him, and it wasn't like he deliberately pushed him and got in his way. It was like, he's walking down with his head. He kind of pissed off they just lost the game, and the guy cuts off right in front of him. It's more of like a bumped into you type thing.
So this guy goes to don't know if he's hurt or not. I'm gonna say that. He goes immediately to the hospital that night. There were reports of that. And then he filed a lawsuit. Battery. Which we all knew was coming. The cameraman didn't see Adams at all, it appears. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he should have the bet. Like, I do photography like just as like fun as a hobby, and it's like almost like you should have some of the best eyes, right? If you're the camera guy, like you're going to take a shot of that.
I mean, he was
walking. Your job is to take a picture. Like you think that's what his goal is. You take a picture of the reaction of the players leaving the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've done it before, you would anticipate you're going to have some pissed off people.
And then he's walking with a tripod, which is awkward. Like, it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's like you're walking around with something that tripod was pretty tall.
Yeah.
Just different. I was just surprised I'm not surprised that Devontae, that game ended in a weird way. So I'm not surprised that he was upset. He's had 2 or 3 games where he has played very well, and the Raiders just can't get over the hump, which I imagine is very frustrating. But we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. I think he apologized. Again, I think when you see the first thing, I'm like, damn, that's messed up. I've got a buddy that he does photography and videography for the NFL, and I sent him the video, and I was like, would you have handled that the same way? And I was like, no. Like, because everybody saw the video where basically it looks like he basically got Jordan Poole, where he just got snuffed, caught off guard, versus maybe it was an accident or walked into,
So let's talk baseball real quick. Are you watching the playoffs?
Not as much, really, honestly.
Neither am I. I mean, I kind of know who won. I saw the home run with the Astros the other day, walk-off. It's crazy to me that the first sport I really started watching was baseball in my life. It used to be the #1 sport in America. Now I'm more interested in the beginning of the NBA and what's happening this week in the NFL. Like, can the Giants keep doing what they're doing? I'm more interested if the Giants can keep doing what they're doing, man. They're like, what's going on right now in the playoffs?
Yeah, definitely a tough division. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm a Giants fan, so I'm pleasantly surprised.
Okay. All right. They're playing. I watched the game last week. I just want Saquon to stay healthy.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
He takes a lot of pressure off Jones. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, I don't remember the total count, but he's got more rushing yards than like 8 or 10 teams in the NFL.
I mean, he's built to be successful.
Yeah.
This guy's squatting crazy weight. He is agile. He can stop on the dime. He just has to stay healthy. If you had told me at the beginning of the season, will he be doing what he's doing right now? There's no way. That's what I would have said. There's absolutely no way. I just got to see if this guy's knee's okay. And he's out here cutting, stopping on the dime. People are falling. He's still going to. That play down the sideline last week was like, man, Saquon's back and ready to rumble.
Yeah. That brings up an interesting topic. It's relevant, but maybe off guard. I think just in all news in general, there's got to be more positivity going around. It's like, Draymond Green takes the highlight. Devontae Adams takes the highlight. But like you said, comeback story, Saquon Barkley, history of just getting injured, but right now leading the league in rushing yards and beating 10 teams. Then you have the guy for the Commanders or the Redskins. Forgot his name off the top of my head. He literally got shot and just recovered and played his first game this past week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it gets the news, but there's not enough. There's not enough discussion or like, hey, that's good. Like, hey, there's success stories out there. Everybody feeds off of like hate and like negativity. Not everybody, just it seems to be the more popular topic.
So this brings up a good. You and I have never talked about this before, but this brings up a good. Do you think that's because? Then I'm gonna start naming some players. Do you think that's because ratings? People want to see more controversy, and people don't want to see good stories. I think his name is Samari Rowe. Samari Rowe was a NFL player who was also a Rhodes Scholar back in the day. Now he's a neurosurgeon. You don't hear a lot of talk about that. About guys who are can wear 2-3 hats, do different things, but they also play in the NFL. You hear about some other stuff. You hear about people driving under the influence and different things happening in domestic situations, and because we've all played, man. There are many different people on this team when you're on the team. There are many different attributes, guys who are great at this, not so good at that. There are many different things on this team, but you only hear about certain things. Why do you think that is? Why do you think somebody like Steph Curry? Boring. He does a lot in his community. He does a lot in Oakland. You don't really hear about that. He has not have a domestic violence situation. He has never been in the news for anything negative. People are not really talking about that guy. He could break 3-point records till the cows come home. Nobody's talking about that.
Same with LeBron.
Yeah. LeBron, that's a strong attribute of his. He has done nothing negative. He's always been positive. He has a school. He's done things in his community. Did a lot of stuff in Cleveland that I've read about. I've never really seen on TV anybody talking about it. Maybe that's the way he wants it. I don't know. But people don't like that guy.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, I've like my brain's going off. I have like 100 different ways to respond to this because it's like deeper than sports. There's just so many different ways to look at it. I think that maybe the short answer is people love watching other people fail for whatever reason.
I think that's true.
It's like they like to say, oh, well, they're human too. Like they like to see that. And I don't know what else. I mean, it's a generational thing. It's like, it's historical. It's just what people feed off of. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get it out clearly without getting like too like political or historical.
Yeah, take your time. Pete says, unfortunately, it's true. Positive stories are not selling, and it really exposes us as a society.
I'll give you an analogy. Just, I'm sure you're familiar, like the page card porn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like to me, in my opinion, they thrive off of getting clickbait of stories of making all this negative energy, and then they throw, oh, there's too much negativity. Let's talk about something positive. And it's like, wait, what? And it's like people just keep throwing it out there, and then it's like people just don't like it. I don't know. I can't explain why other people don't like it enough. I just think there needs to be more of it. Besides the fact that people like to see other people fail.
There should be more of it.
Like nobody likes to see. Like everybody likes the underdog. So once you're already up there, they just want to see you fail.
And then once you win a few championships, you start hearing people say, "Oh man, I'm tired of watching them win."
Yeah, Tom Brady, LeBron James.
Tired of that, man.
They're tired of it. So it's like, why hear winning stories?
Just like this year, some people believe Golden State Warriors are a favorite to win the NBA title. You look at ESPN. ESPN didn't even pick them last year, and ESPN this year is talking about Utah, Denver, Milwaukee, just some other teams. Like they're not even highly ranked, man, this year. And if you look at the talent that's on the team,
Utah,
yeah, bro, people talking about Utah. Even after the trade, Bambino, you don't even hear of Golden State. And what is that? I felt strongly last year. Golden State starts in the finals versus Boston. There's no way Boston's winning this series. And I think every network knew that. But you can't come out and say first game, kick back, y'all. Boston has no way of winning this series. If you want to get ratings, if you want to generate something, if you want to get a buzz going. I watch Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp all the time. And suddenly, Shannon was a Boston Celtics fan, talking about Tatum and Brown. These are my boys. Skip has always talked about Golden State. So they were kind of at each other. But that creates TV. Like, Shannon has never talked about Boston. He's not talking about Boston right now coming into the season.
Right.
Yes, I
guess that's a devil's advocate. I think that there needs to be like discussion and not controversy or people arguing against each other, but there needs to be like solid debate.
Yep.
About things.
Yep. And I've seen shows change over time. Like now, like even like we were just talking about Undisputed, Shannon is way more animated about stuff than he used to be. Probably saw some ratings. Probably said in the green room, "Hey, you know what, y'all? I'm about to go out and try something." Tried it, looked back at some ratings. Oh man, that thing hit. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do now.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna get down. It's way
devil's advocate. He could be that way. I know I'm that way, where it's like once I open up, I'm outgoing, funny, silly.
I can see that. Because you and I start vibing.
I'm like really reserved at first. Yeah. So he's like, you know what? I got the job. I signed the. I don't know the history, but maybe he did sign that extension. And he's like, I feel comfortable. Let me be me. Let me be animated. Let me be funny. Let me be silly.
Well, I knew something was different when he started coming out with the Hennessy and pouring drinks on the set, and then suddenly all of that went away.
Yeah,
he doesn't do that anymore.
Maybe he took it too far.
Probably did. Somebody probably told him, "Hey, man,
we'll get this. We have fun, but not fun."
Yeah, we won't start pouring Hennessy at 7:00 in the morning, bro. So who Peeps asked here? Who are you two wanting to see in the World Series? I actually just want to see the Dodgers win it all. It's not because I'm a Dodgers fan. It's just I think that would help certain members of that organization, that like Mookie Betts, Kershaw, certain people solidify some things in their career. And I think they're the team to do it. I think they have the pitching. I think they have the hitting. We'll see, though. Padres didn't lay down last night.
I'm going to go with the Padres and the Yankees.
Okay.
I like the Padres. I remember when I was out there in San Diego circa 2010, they couldn't give you tickets. Like, people wouldn't take free tickets to get into the damn stadium.
True.
Yep. Oh, you want to get behind get behind first base? Free. No, I'm good.
I remember I went to Petco Park for my first game. It was a work event.
Me too, actually.
This was probably right a little bit around there, probably 2008. Probably 2008. And man, the stadium was probably 20% full, man. Nobody was there. Stadium was probably Petco Park was probably 20% full.
Oh yeah. I went to for a work event and it was It was like I grew up near a minor league baseball team, and it was like less packed than that.
It's funny how that works. Just like 2011, I went to DC, went to a Nationals game. That was pretty full, but they had banners of Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams. Ted Williams played there, I guess, but they had banners of players that never played with the Nationals in the stadium. It was weird.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
mean,
team had
we
no
didn't
history.
have much history, I guess.
Yeah, had no history, but now won a World Series. You know, we got Gabe. Gabe saying, "What's up? How you doing? I am doing well."
Welcome, Gabe.
Brendan says, "I've noticed some turn a blind eyes to anything negative. Those people live in a bubble, not based in reality." Yeah, I don't know. I do know creating content. Like when we first started, people would say, "Oh, you're very positive. You don't talk about certain things on the hobby. You're very
I
positive."
mean, I don't know. I think there are definitely things you have to pace reality to. Like, it could pick several things. Like, like, yes, the price or quote unquote comps are going down. Like, it's not that you live in a bubble and don't address it. That's a negative thing. But it's like, okay, well, why not find a way to adapt to it and be the person that's remembered for giving out good deals during that time, not just being a museum.
See, Bambino, that's what
it's just how you look at things.
So adaptation is huge to me. So I feel like I am all about what I really do when it comes to the channel. So I'm navigating in a space that's changing. So I'm morphing, changing, doing certain things where I'm at. Prices of comps have really went down. So now I'm focusing on only a few athletes. So I'm really buying cars up. I may test something before. I may have and went out and bought an Anthony Simons card. Probably now I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like I gotta have certain players. I'm thinking about certain people. Certain people have kind of proven themselves. I prospect on probably one or two people, and that's all I'm prospecting on. Like, people ran out was talking about Jason Dominguez. Just the way I'm wired. My first thing was like, he's never played a game. I know he may be a great prospect. He's never played a game. I don't know, man.
Yeah, baseball prospecting is definitely a whole other world. Like
a whole other.
I'm gonna say I'm not very well educated in for sure, but I know there's a market for it. People buy and sell that all the time. People would prospect all the time because you never know. Boom, Judge was 2013. Look at him now.
True. I know some people that only buy prospect cards in baseball. Like they'll never buy Mike Trout. They're only buying prospects and turning prospects. That's it. Baseball is totally different though, man. Yeah. It's very hard to predict. Dude may take a ball off a hand, never be the same. Who knows? Just never know. I have another question here for you. We want to talk about changes in car prices. So I received some messages from people who were hyped about CSG, SGC, PSA coming out with kind of bulk pricing. Right? But then I'll ask the question, and somebody told me, FD, don't be a downer, man, when I was talking about this. Only certain cars qualify.
I'm not aware.
Well, I know with PSA, that's a threshold.
So for clarification, there's a declared value limit for all the companies except for SGC.
Mm-hmm. So certain cars don't qualify.
Correct.
And then someone told me, man, don't be a downer, man. I'm just like, as soon as I heard this, it was like my mind went to certain cars don't qualify.
That's definitely an interesting way to look at it. Like, yeah, you just can't, you can't do everything. Yeah.
Doesn't work. But what do you think about why do you think maybe one pawn moved, the other ones wanted to move to make sure one didn't have that entire market? But why do you think this happened? Why do you think there was a bulk pricing that came out? It was tested and it came out.
I know. Well, for the start of October, CSG announced first 20% off all grading levels. So that's something that the others are not doing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, their discount qualifies for everything, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then within a week later, PSA said, "Yo, we're doing $18 bulk submission." And the interesting thing they said is $15 for TCG, which is non-sports division.
Yeah.
Which I'll tap into later on. I think the reason why these discounts happened was that's a good thing to remember. Then SGC said, whoa, I got to join the party. Let me throw some discounts. We will also be as cheap as $18. We have to do 50 cards. And then Beckett, as they've been operating recently, last ones to announce, we'll do a discount too. The reason why, I think a lot of people, I think CSG helped do that because they led with that. And specifically, I think the prices are like there's more competition, specifically in the non-sports card. Like there's a Charizard. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, no big deal. So this card right here, I might be off by a couple dollars based on today's market.
Mm-hmm.
This is a reprint of the original first Charizard.
Okay.
As a CGC9, which is also CSG, it's a $120 card. PSA 9, it's a $120 card. So before the price decrease, why would you send to PSA for $30? You could send a CSG for $15.
Yep.
So now PSA, because I do a lot of the non-sports stuff, for bigger cards, yes, PSA is more dominant. But I'd say 300 and below, CSG is getting very, very competitive. So they lowered that to $15, so $3 cheaper. And they lowered the minimum card threshold from 25 to 10.
That's a game, though. That's significant.
And it sells more than the BGS 9 and in the non-sports cards world, Pokemon, like SGC is not even a competitor. So it's really between PSA and CGC. Their background, which I've been submitting with them for plenty of years, is in comics.
Okay.
And they started doing this as well. So I think that played a factor. I think prices or comps, market value, the recession, made them want to decrease their prices because they're not getting as many cards. So they want to turn numbers. Maybe they caught up some that played a factor. They caught up, so now they can pump stuff. But we have to remember just how you started the call. It's like people are selling at 70%. They were selling PSA, you could submit cards in single digits. So everyone's getting all excited, but it's still $18 when you could submit for $8 just 2 years ago.
Interesting, right?
So it's like you're still more than double.
Hero 3 says, I'm going to take my Aaron Judge PSA 10 Topps Chrome Prism Refractor to a card show on Saturday. I think it will sell for $750. You have to let us know how that goes, Hero 3.
Yeah.
What's the turnaround time for CSG versus PSA on the lower card sheet?
So I believe CGC, I just got this order that I was kind of showing off. Let me even show you the date. They received this on 10/3.
Oh, wow.
Cards. And I got it 7 days door to door. PSA, I believe, is saying 120 days. And CGC, I believe, is 2 weeks.
Okay, I see something here where PSA is 120. SGC is 15 to 20. Beckett is 180. And CSG is 60 days. And those are all probably on the long end.
No, I think SGC is a little bit faster.
Okay.
I guess I deleted that.
Yeah, I have 15 to 20 days, SGC.
Yeah. But, yeah, so like 2 weeks versus 2-3 months.
And those
they're saying that it's getting back fast. Everyone's getting back faster. I mean, as you saw, they literally got that back in 7 days. Yeah, I don't see PSA doing that in bulk. I think if you're lucky, you'll get it back in 100 days. We'll see. I'm gonna submit to PSA some cards too for sure.
That was your collect.
I use all of them, just not SGC as much.
What do you think about Beckett?
I think they are the museum vendors at shows.
Yeah, we don't. Man, we don't hear a lot from them. We don't know what's going on. SGC comes around, talks to us. Beckett talks to us. We see strong market understanding from CSG.
I think it's interesting regarding Beckett. So they own a comic book rating company called CBCS.
Yes.
Which is like the number 2 next to CGC. And they were at New York Comic Con this past weekend. And they did heavy marketing, like heavy social media posting. A lot of giveaways. I'm just surprised that on the card market they don't do as much interaction. I saw they were at the Philly show doing raw card reviews. They sold out of them by Saturday, so they didn't do any on Sunday. You see them in Dallas, but I don't know. I like them. I like their cases, but I think they've got a lot of catching up to do.
A lot of catching up. A lot of showing and understanding what collectors want. Talking to people. We haven't heard anything since the National, and they showcased a new slab. And then they was there, right? Were you there?
They didn't. Oh my! They took that back real quick.
Oh, we're just doing a little market research. Just a little market research. Don't worry about it. It's all good. There's nothing to see here. Just a little market research.
That'd be like CSG going back to the green label.
Yeah. But you were at the National, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this. I've heard feedback about Wi-Fi. What was your experience like at the National with limited to no Wi-Fi?
Are we just talking about Wi-Fi? Or do you want the whole recap?
Give me the whole recap. Yeah, give me Bambino.
Well, my first National was when I met you in Chicago.
Oh, that was your first?
Say it again.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to San Diego Comic Con. I've been to like other big shows, but never been to like the National Card Show.
Okay.
I know the times are different because it was the first show since the pandemic. I think that Chicago was definitely a better venue.
I would agree with that. Not just
because in Dallas, a lot of people said, no, I don't want to get mugged to go to Jersey. Jersey also has a card show, not even one. I would say like 5 card shows every weekend.
Yeah.
So you go see the National, and people aren't traveling from the West Coast to go to the Atlantic City, where it was hard to get around, hard to get to the hotel. Everything was just challenging.
There were a lot of people from LA in Atlantic City.
There were, but there were a lot of people that didn't go either.
True. I was one of them.
Compared to how they would versus Chicago. Chicago was the midway point across the country.
Yep.
I went Sunday, and I went with my brother. It was his first National. And we were just baffled that we saw more double digits empty tables.
Hold on. So there's a table here. There's someone vending right there, and then this table is empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not on the first day. It starts on Wednesday. Remember, is the dealer day Thursday? Talking about Sunday, but it wasn't like that Sunday in Chicago.
So people decided this is not happening for me. I'm just going to travel now.
Yeah. Definitely completely different. And then the whole layout, like they had a whole Breakers Pavilion in Chicago, like a specific area. This kind of took up like the center of the main floor, like Whatnot, and the big booth like that for people to stream from. So I thought that was different. And then just walking around, everyone's complaining about people's prices being too high, so a lot of deals weren't getting done.
I heard that. Yep. But no issues with Wi-Fi, checking comps, anything like that.
Yeah, that for sure. People were complaining about that, but like I went there with the mission. I got cards subbed with each of the grading companies. Well, not minus SGC. PSA, Beckett, and CGC. So that was part of my mission. And then we were looking for some specific sealed wax in Pokemon. And then just like rare, hard to find autos like Kobe, LeBron, stuff like that. And it was definitely there, but there's not too many plays to be made.
Interesting.
And again, and if I did, like I said, 'cause I did a lot of the Jersey circuits for a long time, I knew where to go and talk to the people. But it wasn't a lot of new faces. It almost felt like another weekend in Jersey. That's just my opinion.
Interesting. It'd be interesting to see what changes are made. What is the layout going to be in Chicago next year? They've already announced Chicago, Cleveland, back to Chicago.
I think that's good. It's a midway point for everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
I know the people on the East Coast hate it, but it's like, no.
I
don't know. The Midwest and West, it's just nice. It's nice.
I agree. Brendan says, turnaround time as far as grading. Is it really as important as consistency in grading? I wait for tougher grading. But I will tell you this. I know a lot of people. Turnaround time is very important.
Yeah, if you're trying to turn money as a dealer, it's important. You want true grades, but I mean that's a whole other topic. I've done it. You send a card, you get a PSA 7, you crack it, send it back, you get 10.
You've done that?
Yeah.
You didn't clean it, didn't do anything?
No, I wiped it down, but didn't see any big things. I just do it out of habit. And several other people I know too, same exact thing. Crack it, sell it back, get a better grade.
Have you had an instance where you had a card at a certain grade, you cracked it, sent it to someone or the same grading company, and it came back a lower grade?
Yeah. CGC definitely grades really tough.
You think CGC is a tougher grader than PSA?
Yeah, consistently, like as the other person said as a word, consistently. I think when PSA did their first grade price reduction in grading fees, grades are just super sporadic. A lot of people, including myself, I was like, how did this card get a 5? Like I've literally submitted thousands of cards. I don't understand how this card got a 5. Instead I got a 6 or 7. Let me crack it and resub. I'm like, okay, yeah. There was whatever the phrase is, rhyme or reason.
So yeah, because you have a King 9. If you've submitted those many cards, you know why you're submitting, kind of what you expect the grade to kind of be. You look in the edges, corners. Interesting. That's interesting. I've never thought about that. Someone getting a 7, sending it back in, getting a 10.
Yeah, not saying it happened every day, but it's definitely happened.
I got you. So we got Ziggy in the house, Sports Car Show. What's up, Ziggy? Good to have you here.
Welcome. Cheers.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
But yeah, it's part of my project with this. I mean, I submit a lot all the time anyway. But is to experiment some crossovers, slabbed and cracked out of the slab.
So you crack
crossover being take some CSG cards, some Beckett cards, send them to PSA, take some PSA cards, send them to CSG, send them to Beckett.
You know what? I'm surprised someone or an entity or even an individual hasn't done that and logged the results to show kind of what's going on here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all just money. Like you think, like a big company, like I don't know, maybe PWCC or because PWCC offers a service with Beckett and CSG, where you send them your raw cards, they'll get it graded and sold for you.
That's customer
service. That
service.
could be one. I think that Jeff Wilson has some. They partner with someone to do some grading and stuff. They've got plenty of money and analytics already built in place. Maybe do that.
They grade.
I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I just don't know, like, back to statistics, what the sample size needs to be.
True.
You got to do like 1,000 from each. Like, yeah, I wasn't planning on doing anything like that.
True.
Just a sample study.
Yeah, Brenda said a nice double-blind experiment would be interesting. Hey, Michael Ham, what's going on, man? What's happening?
Welcome.
So we talked about the Giants a little bit in the NFL. Are there any other teams that are shocking you by their success or shocking you by how poorly they play?
I'd say the whole NFC East, minus the Redskins.
True.
As far as shocking wins, Eagles undefeated, Cowboys kicking butt.
Well, with a backup quarterback?
Yeah.
Losing
wise, I'm trying to figure.
What's that?
Losing wise, maybe Tom Brady.
Oh, I'm not shocked. No, I kind of thought Tampa Bay might struggle but I think it's gonna get greater later. Because remember the first year he won a Super Bowl, they were not an excellent team all season.
Right.
He had to learn these guys. I think with Gronk retiring, Julio coming in, getting kind of shook up, hurt in the first game. Different players in this position. Godwin getting hurt.
Oh, yeah. Evans.
He's trying to find out who are these second. He has a third string, either center or guard in front of him. If you watch the games, Tom is rushed. He doesn't like playing like that.
Yeah.
He takes a snap, and a lot of these games he's against Atlanta. They were kind of struggling at the beginning.
Yeah.
Braid is not Gronk. So I think they're going to continue to win some games. They're going to lose some games until they get talent back. And then by then, hopefully they're like 60% of their games they've won. And then when they get that talent back, hopefully they can go to another level.
How much you think also is his mental state?
Well, I heard some people talk about that. People are alluding to different things that are going on off the field. That could be impacting him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think the Dolphins' pre-Tua injury was also a big surprising.
Well, you got Tua. I don't think Tua's playing again this year. I don't see it.
Really?
No. I don't see it. I just don't. I don't know why he would. Why would he?
Yeah.
Why would you put yourself on a line like that? 24 years old? And it's not because of the hit that he took in that one game. It's about what happened to him the week before.
Yeah.
I just don't see that. I think they're going to keep pulling this out a little bit, and they're probably going to make that announcement. Because he wasn't even traveling, man. He wasn't catching a flight. That tells me that he's still under surveillance. They're still testing him. They're still watching him. Everybody out there should know. If you get a major concussion, probably any concussion, don't go get on the airline and take a flight.
Right.
That could be a serious problem for yourself. So when I heard that, it's when I said this guy's probably not playing the rest of the season. And it'll be interesting to see how he evaluates himself. He'll probably be back next year. But if Tua takes some big hits, man, and people are going to be coming for him, he's probably done with football. Which is
I don't remember who said it, but somebody said that he should just be done.
He really probably should be.
It was a neurologist, I forget from where, but he's like, he should be done.
Yeah, people talked about that slam he took versus the Bills and how he got up and how he stumbled. They were already talking about some things that's going on in his head with his brain. And that second one, man, was...
Yeah.
I sat here that day and watched that, and it was like, this guy's putting a lot on the line, man. I mean, everybody that goes on the football field does. But when you get into that area where you just keep getting head trauma, and I think we forget as some fans how many people retired because of concussions.
Oh yeah, I know. I've suffered quite a few myself, and it's not fun. I both play football. I've never seen anything like that.
I've never seen it. What I did see, I tell the story before. We were in the game. We had a linebacker running after a receiver. Somebody peeled back, got to hit this guy, man. He was parallel to the ground. I mean, Bambino, he was blasted. He was parallel to the ground, fell out of it. He gets up and runs to the other team's sideline and tries to sit down on the bench. Then they get him up. We're talking about late 90s, bro. They get him up and push him off. And he runs back to our sideline on a diagonal. And when I talked to him later, he was like, hey, I thought I was running straight ahead. I thought I was running straight. That dude was had a problem. So now if he was evaluated, didn't play for a while. Now, if that happened again the very next week, or something similar to that, he took a blow. But I tell people all the time, you talk about you've had concussions. I've had a concussion before. Probably have had several. One in particular I remember. We were taught when I played line, I'm going to engage. If I'm coming out there and block you, I'm probably going to try to take you. But if I'm engaging a linebacker or another lineman, I was taught to engage with the triangle. That's two hands and the crown of my helmet. So I'm coming all the time. Every play, I'm coming. What's happening? And you got to think, you get to the league, man. You get to a Junior Seau. You get to some of these guys who have been coming for years. Dave Dewis, I used to be a huge fan when I was growing up. Even went to a show before he passed away and got his autograph. And Dave Dewis talked openly about hearing voices, constant pain, constant headaches. The day I saw him, he was very quiet, like unusual. You know, we grew up, you see him on the news, he's talking, just sitting there, man, just like signing and sitting there, and like with almost like no expression on his face. I was experiencing something then. It's not football, man. You know, when people say the NFL stands for not for long, it's serious business out there. We're watching war take place.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when I always talk about this with people? We talk about hits. You remember when Ray Lewis came through and hit Rashard Mendenhall? Do you remember that, bro? Ooh, he was never the same after that hit.
Yeah, Ray Lewis was him and Ed Reed.
Man, it's crazy, man. They would just come in like Ed Reed will come from a 20-yard run and destroy a person. Like a missile, really. His body became a missile.
They were bad.
And you think about Ronnie Lott and I always think about some of these older players, Lawrence Taylor. What do they feel like now? You walk around and you say, man, that's Lawrence Taylor, man. Oh, what's up? What does he feel like?
I don't know. Actually, Ray Lewis will be I'm doing Chantilly, Virginia in 2 weeks. He'll be there. I'll have to ask him that.
You should ask him that. I know he'll give you a real answer. He'll give you, tell me, hey, man, I play ball. You play longer than me. What do you feel like? How does your body feel? You get up, you want to take a jog, you want to get on the treadmill? What does it feel like? There's got to be, but that hit on Mendenhall, man. But I always go back to this, too. Let's talk about AB right quick. I haven't talked about AB probably enough. When AB took that hit versus the Cincinnati Bengals, we're talking about hits, where he basically got hit under the chin, and you saw his head throw back. I almost feel like this guy, and I'm no doctor, I feel like he hasn't been the same since.
I didn't follow him that heavily to be able to know, but
have you seen
it? Since you take a hit like that, people don't.
You've seen the hit though, right?
I don't know if I have.
You should check that. You should check that out. When he gets hit, man, he's on his back, and he's there for a while before he gets up and comes off the field. But it just seems to me that AB has not been the same since. And I think we look at people and we say, maybe it's my former athlete talking. Like, why does that person do that? Why does that person act like that? Why are they acting silly? Head trauma, real head traumas, no joke.
Yeah.
None of us would know how we would act if we took a hit like that, had head trauma like that. So, I mean, I don't know.
Where Mike Tyson says that it's a good idea to get punched in the face.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's real life.
And Mike was the one. A lot of people were talking before they got in the ring, but what they want to do. Trevor Burbick. I was in my early teens when he was in the height of his career. A lot of people were talking. Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks was in the ring 91 seconds. It's interesting now that boxing. You're a boxing fan, former boxing fan?
Yeah, I don't follow it as heavily right now.
And neither do I. It's just interesting how boxing is not the same as when Evander Holyfield and Ron Moore and when Foreman came back and Larry Holmes came back. Tyson was in the mix. Sugar Ray Leonard. I go back to Roberto Duran, Wilfred Benitez. It's just a whole nother. I see a boxing match now, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll see ESPN tell me who won that.
Yeah.
Not even the same for me.
Kind of like baseball.
So tell us all, when you get to the Chantilly show, I've never been. I've always wanted to go to that show. Are you there to sell, buy? You talked about Ray Lewis and autographs. Like, what will you be doing at that show?
I feel like my MO, honestly, is to just buy and sell. Chantilly, honestly, is probably one of my, I don't want to say it too loud, I guess I don't mind sharing. Probably one of my best buying shows of the year.
I've heard it's a great show.
Every time. I'm excited because Alexander Ovechkin's going to be there. It's the only Camaro team I like.
Really?
I've never heard about him doing a signing, so I normally don't wait in line to do autographs. Definitely doing that.
So that's somebody to meet, man. Wow, he's gonna be there.
I had to get the cards from Canada because there was a couple of his cards I wanted to get signed, but so they've got him, Mike Tyson. They got a crazy autograph lineup. They normally bring some heavy heaters to show.
They do. They usually bring heat. And then when I was in Chicago, I always wanted to go. Never been. At some point, I need to get there. I mean, sometimes people talk about the National. I'm like, do you know the Chantilly show? Do y'all love them? Anybody ever go see that? I've always heard that thing is special. Ovechkin, I can't wait to see or hear your experience with that. Man, that's a big name.
Yeah, I don't follow much hockey. Just I got a work trip paid for me to go check out a game right on the glass, and probably the coolest sport to watch in person.
It is. I've seen a few matches. It is
fast-paced and physical,
and strategy involved. Yeah. I always told stories about when I lived in St. Louis. We used to go out to eat in certain places, and there would be St. Louis Blues players there, and they were the most down-to-earth people to me. They would sit and talk with you about different stuff, other sports, life in general. And I wish, kind of walked away all that time thinking like, I wish more athletes were like this.
Yeah.
You could just have a conversation. Like, it's not really like that.
I mean, times are just different now. Like, I think with social media and people being, I guess most people aren't going to notice a hockey player as much as the other sports. But I mean, it keeps popping up on my feed for a reason. The old school clip of the Olympic team, LeBron, Chris Paul, I think Chris Bosh was videotaping, and they're all in a Wendy's, like just chilling at a gas station.
Dwight Howard was on that team. Yeah, just sitting eating. Yeah.
Could you imagine pulling up to that nowadays?
No. It would be bananas. If LeBron James pulled up somewhere and just sat down like that, it would be crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Lakers, man? What do you think they're going to do?
I don't know.
Some people are saying they'll get to 50 wins. It was interesting last night. I think last night. Yeah, last night there was a game. I think people have seen Patrick Beverly is trying to get people to huddle up. They want to talk. So he tells LeBron, Anthony Davis, someone else to come over. He was beckoning for Westbrook. Westbrook didn't want to come over.
I guess it depends on how the puzzle. You got Westbrook, Carmelo, Anthony Davis. I don't know. I don't think they make I don't think they're. They could, but I don't see them making it to. I don't see them out beating the Warriors.
Nah, I think people just want to see the Lakers represent themselves well.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Get over 500, play well together, cut out the drama, play as a team, and the drama's only coming from certain people. That's one thing I will say. LeBron James is not about. He's not creating drama. If anything, he's trying to keep the team afloat. Some nights when you watch him, he almost does too much for a guy in his 21st season. But that's LeBron.
Yeah. That's why I don't think Draymond will be a good fit over there.
Well, him and LeBron, they do a lot of hanging out. They do a lot of kicking it together. I don't know.
Hanging
I
out
don't think Draymond
is different than working with somebody, though.
It is. That's totally true. Well, the season starts on the 18th.
Any preseason trade transaction predictions or finals predictions?
I wonder if Westbrook is going to make it throughout the whole season with the Lakers. Maybe he does. I don't know if Carmelo Anthony is on the team yet.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I know Dwight Howard is not.
Oh, they just had 1 year. They had 1 year deals.
I think so. It's interesting that Dwight Howard is not in the league, though. I think a lot of these players get to a point where they must have some medical things going on that keeps people from picking them up. You would think somebody would go after Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
But he has had chronic back issues.
He is old.
He's what?
He's been in the league for a long time.
Long time. Year before LeBron? Long time. I want to see LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, some of these young guys. I want to see what step they take in their career. I want to see if Zion Williams is
he still out now? Did he hurt his ankle? I heard.
Yeah, he hurt his ankle on a layup attempt last night. Kind of twisted his ankle. But I mean, this should be of no surprise. Man, if you're jumping and bounding and leaping, it's a higher probability of coming down on someone's foot or even coming down off it.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best, though. I hope he can. They said it was minor. So, we'll see. Hope he can get back, do his thing.
I'm cheering for him.
Yeah. He's a young guy. He already talked about last year how he was in a dark place when he was out and he was physically bigger.
Yeah.
That's not, you don't want to hear that from anybody. You don't want anybody to feel a certain way. I talked to him live a couple of days ago about players. Let me ask you this question. When you got through playing ball, did you feel at a loss because you weren't playing football anymore?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hanging up the pads.
Mm-hmm.
That's just different. I don't know how to explain it.
So when I got through playing, I didn't watch football for 3 years.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I couldn't watch football.
Didn't watch it at all. I didn't watch a high school game. It kind of got me when I rode past a high school in practice, and you're driving and you look over. I didn't watch a college game, and I definitely didn't watch an NFL game.
Oh, no.
But then,
it was easier for me because I was a Giants fan, though.
Yeah, Giants was kind of rough back then. A little rough. So I don't know what these guys go through, man. You put so much of your life is wrapped up in that sport, and if you are successful or not. Ben Simmons said something the other day about, they had a video out. Him, Kyrie, and KD are walking in a park. Ben Simmons shoots a shot, hits nothing. And then he's like, man, people are, talking about me because I'm the only one. What's that?
He said I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one who missed. So when you're a young guy, you're a young lady, like some of the people in tennis have went through depression and other things because of what people are saying about them. It's rough.
I mean, look at Brady. He's talked about hanging up the pads. He lasted how long?
Yeah, I think after this one, Brady's done. I'm actually surprised the NFL is not doing more of a, you go on a tour. It's your last season. People are giving you gifts. There are ceremonies on the field. I'm surprised there isn't more of that going on.
Yeah, I will never forget Mariano Rivera's. He'll be at the Chantilly too. But I went to Orioles game when he was playing there, and it like the whole series they were honoring him.
Yeah, and just like when Big Papi was retired.
Yeah,
maybe Tom doesn't want that. I don't know.
Especially you only play the team one time.
Yeah,
maybe it's the last time he's gonna be in that stadium, unless it's like the Falcons and Saints and Panthers.
Yeah, people you play twice a year. So at the beginning of the football season, in the hobby, there was a lot of talk about quarterbacks. Herbert, Burrow, Lawrence, Wilson from the Jets, several other people. Most of those players are not having a good season this year. What do you think about that?
I think it's nothing new. I remember I probably got the heaviest into breaking like 2017. You had like Mahomes, and then you think about Lamar's rookie class. I think that was like Josh Rosen. Everybody loved him, and Sam Darnold. Like everybody that passed on Lamar. Look at Lamar and Josh Allen. They weren't even like the big hits.
True.
And then I look at 17. I think Mahomes is literally the only guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had Mahomes, you had Trubisky, you had Watson. Mahomes is by far.
Watson might make it. McCaffrey was all right.
Yeah.
He's hurt all the time. And then 19, it's really just Kyler. And people,
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to live up to. It's like prospecting in baseball, honestly. There's just so many quarterbacks to find. The one that's going to be the franchise quarterback is just one in so many. There's only really like 5 to 10 big standout quarterbacks that make it a century, like Rodgers, Brady, even like Breeze and Manning. They don't get that much love in the hobby as much as records they broke. So it's like, who's really going to do it? Like, they're fun, exciting to watch, but people always like I said, it's prospecting in baseball. People go heavy over these rookie quarterbacks thinking they're going to be Brady. So it's nothing new, but it's just like it's a vicious cycle because they could be that next person. Burrow went to the Super Bowl. He's having a slump now. He's being tested that a Super Bowl slump, whatever you want to call it. But he made it happen for the young Bucks,
True. I always say this, like we collect a lot, we move a lot of cars around. We do a lot of stuff as people that are in the hobby. There's really only 2 basketball players that are going to go to legendary status every 20 years, every 15 years. It's only 2. Some of them intersect. Kobe went from Jordan all the way to LeBron, Curry. But there's if you look at a given point in time, there's really like 2 players that really they're on the greatness scale. Same with quarterbacks. You talked about Peyton, Drew Brees, Brady. Think about when them guys started playing ball.
Yeah, 2000 Brady.
Yeah.
Manning was 98 and Brees 2001.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of people to really talk about.
Yeah, maybe Rodgers, but
Rodgers came a little bit later.
Yeah, it was I think 2006.
Yeah. So now you got Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady. And then we're going to still see who Herbert is. I'm talking about from a football perspective, not the hobby.
I think Herbert's just going to be another Breeze.
Yeah, we're still going to see who Burrow is. We got to see who's going to be a legend, not Phillip Rivers.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Herbert is a Phillip Rivers. Is going to be a Phillip Rivers, is my prediction.
And I hate to burst people's bubbles. People probably like, well, damn, well, FD, wow. Why am I doing all this?
But yeah, see, look, you're a realist. You're not just in a positive bubble.
No, I'm not unless I'm positively real.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but that's just how I look at it. There's only certain players to me that, and there are people that I'm prospecting on that may never be that player. I always say this. In 2010, LeBron said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Right? Nobody was talking about Steph Curry was somewhere getting an ankle surgery. Nobody's talking about Steph. Golden State Warriors were thinking about, we're going to trade this guy? Well, when they traded Monte Ellis, they were thinking about trading him. This is just how sports goes. So there's some people that are forgotten and not even thought about. Or they're from a small school like Curry came from. They could be the biggest thing in the NBA in 15, 17 years. Is all people are really talking about or thinking about, or from a win perspective. Right now, Golden State's going to, favorite to win number 5 in recent years. It could be the same way when it comes down to a quarterback.
Yep.
And then we get excited, like the young man who came out of Liberty. Is his name Willis? That went to Tennessee?
Yeah, I think Malik.
Will he play? People were excited about Bo. Man, Bo, man. He's deep on Orlando's bench right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What the other guy from Orlando just had a card sale for like 13,000 raw. Wagner. Who is he going to be? Last year he averaged like 16 points a game. You just never know. I know we all have to prospect, but at the end of the day, you never know how that thing's going to shake out. Did somebody say a quarterback that was the 199th pick will have 7 rings right now? And the hobby's almost numb. Is the hobby numb to Brady?
Say it again.
Is the hobby numb to Brady?
No. Is it done with breaking?
No. Numb, like numb to Tom Brady.
What do you mean?
Like, it seems like the hobby is like, yeah, I know this guy's won 7 rings, but I'm going to talk about Herbert. Or I'm going to talk about Burrow. Or I'm going to talk about Trevor Lawrence.
I think it's, I guess, like I said, just what it. I wouldn't say it's even just a hobby, but particularly, especially like being someone that did a lot of group breaks. It's like everybody wants the new thing. Like everyone's going crazy about the Pickett quarterback for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's
I don't
good?
think it's necessarily. I think his hype may have slowed down, but the hype for new, just like in the shoe game, like everybody wants a new pair of shoes. Like
true, that is true.
Everybody wants the new. So I think Brady's still relevant. I think he's slowed down. I don't know about completely numb. People are still buying him every day, but people also just love that new stuff.
What do you think about Pickett for the Steelers? You watched him play?
I think it might be deeper than just the quarterback position.
True. I can't argue with that. That is true. Oh, wow. Brendan says, do you know how hard it is to watch Law and Order and Rolling with FD at the same time? That has to be hard.
I'm not surprised nobody said Thursday Night Football because it's the Bears versus the Commanders.
True. Brendan, a great Bobo. Got in early on his card. I saw him actually play in the game the other day. He looked pretty decent. I mean, his coordination has gotten better. He seems to be stronger, taking off, jumping, shooting, redirecting himself. Would another ring for Brady really affect his card prices? What do you think about that? If Brady gets his 8th ring, what's that doing for his card prices?
Going up?
I think so.
1 second. Let me get a charger.
Go ahead.
Definitely going up. I don't see it's not going to go down or stay the same. Getting a charger real quick.
That's all good.
But yeah, I think definitely goes up.
I think it goes up as well.
A feather in his cap, and
That no one else has touched. Probably never will. Michael Ham asks a good question. Do they let Dak start? He's not starting this week. They've already confirmed that. I think he still had some swelling 2 weeks ago in his thumb. And I think he's working on trying to grip a football.
I think it's a defense, right?
Yeah, defense are winning games, and the quarterback is not losing them. So why don't you let this man heal?
Who knows, though?
I also think that Russell Wilson has more wrong with him than they even talked about. Like, he does not look like himself. He can't throw a football for a long distance and have it as an accurate throw. He seems like he's very off. Something's up to me.
I have this. I didn't do it this year, but I keep investing them in the off season, and he shits the bed the first couple games of the season. Excuse my English.
No, you're good. I always thought I thought in the off season I looked at a few cars. I was like, man, maybe it's time to add some Russell Wilson to my collection. Then I said, let me hold off and see what the first 3 weeks are like.
Yeah, I think something's off, but I know he's historically had a rough start to his. I don't have the stats in front of me, but to his first couple games of the season, and I agree he doesn't look like himself to top it all.
Something's going down. It'll probably come out. I always say this. It'll probably come out in a documentary 5 years from now. What happened?
Once people get that bag, it just something changes.
Oh, it's that hunger, man.
Yeah,
it's that hunger. Ziggy says peak selling. I don't know, but it's that.
I feel like he's still like an affordable quarterback if you like him to always buy. I don't know. I don't know when his peak was.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
If it would have gave the ball to Marshawn, it would have been a hell yeah. But
that's what I said about Brady. Think about how many things have happened to give Brady another ring. There have been some crazy stuff. David Tyree catching the ball that took a ring away.
Giants got two of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what's funny? Strahan was doing an interview with someone like a month or so ago, and he said 2 people. Eli Manning was klutzy as all get out, trip, fall over anything. He gets away from, I think, 2 tackles in that play. David Tyree, he said, couldn't catch a cold. You could throw stuff to him all practice. He's probably dropping most balls. And on that one play, Eli Manning gets away from people, slings the rock. Tyree catches the ball over a future Hall of Famer and holds on to it. That's football, man. That's why you got to play the game.
All it takes is one play. I think that's a lot of things in life. It just takes that one time.
Oh,
that's crazy talk.
Biggie says Mahomes is Wilson part 2.
That's just crazy talk.
Wow. Then he says
Patrick Mahomes is like NFL Street in real life.
Yeah. He says Russell Wilson is not a Hall of Fame. I think Wilson is a Hall of Fame.
I think he'll make it.
Yeah, I think he's a Hall of Fame.
Talking about the Seahawks too, that he was doing it with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
who's the big?
Who was their Steve? Who was like their quarterback? I can't even name a quarterback before Russell Wilson.
No, not with Seattle. Oh, but he didn't have a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Does he have a Hall of Fame wide receiver?
No. The best thing he ever had was DK, which just happened.
Yeah.
2019.
So,
yeah, I can't. I mean, I guess Tyler Lockett. Other than that, or Doug Baldwin, not big names, but they're the only 2 wide receivers I can think of.
And I think teams are realizing now you don't really have to have a Hall of Fame wide receiver to win Super Bowls.
Yeah, Brady.
Brady showed that. Steelers showed that. There's been a few teams that have had good receivers to great in the short term. They don't really have to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You can still get that thing done.
They get no love, but I think it's fun to get good, nice, cool, rare cards of some wide receivers, and me personally, cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Other than the Jay Rice PSA 10 rookie card, wide receivers are pretty cheap. Although Jefferson market's pretty strong.
Jefferson market is strong. Chase's market is coming up too.
Oh yeah, those two wide receivers. They're pulling in a pretty dollar for wide receivers. That's a little like past what I've seen historically. Like in the draft, to see wide receiver to get hot. Like DK, he was hot for a little bit.
I think everybody knows he doesn't have a quarterback. I mean, Geno's not going to do so much.
That's a shock of the year. Geno Smith out there playing like young Russell Wilson.
He's playing.
And he came in the year after Russell Wilson, 2013.
Like he said, people wrote him off. He didn't write back.
Yeah. Speaking about like funny puns and stuff like that, I liked your Deion Sanders.
Did you like that?
Yeah. That was
you know what's funny, man? I saw that the night before. And I said, I got to do a reaction video to it. I did that in one take. And
you got that done in one take?
I got that done in one take, bro. One take. If you notice, there's no editing. There's no chopping that. I got that thing in one take, man.
That was awesome.
And thank you. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that whole video was not the part with me in it. I'm talking about just the Deion part.
No, I think the combination was awesome.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I put that out. I don't even know how many people in the hobby have watched that.
I know. You gotta get Deion to share it. Because he's been he's been eating that all up.
Oh yeah, man. You know, Deion.
I think he did one with Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Did a remix. Recently.
Yeah, I saw Tank did a remix of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, if I ain't R&B, who's R&B, man? If I ain't R&B, that whole thing is just hilarious, man. The middle of the field handshake. When I saw that middle of the field handshake, I knew this is about the balloon and the something else. Then when Eddie Robinson Jr. went to the press conference and said, "This dude ain't swag," it's like, wow. And I think most people. My brother went to Jackson State.
Oh,
nice. Yeah. So when you start talking about SWAC conference, yeah, this goes back to I got to start paying attention really at 12, 13 years old. And there is a idea about being about the conference, being about HBCUs, everything that comes with that, supporting the youth, the students, the development of players. So when people out there say, well, I had a friend hit me up and said, well, isn't it a conference? Like, how could you be the conference? But there's so much more going on at HBCUs that when Eddie Robinson Jr. said that, I knew when Deion came up, it was like, because Eddie Robinson Jr.'s video came out first that day of his press conference. And then when Deion came, I ain't got time for that, man. I got time for it. Have you ever met Deion in person?
No, I'd love to.
I met him several times. So I go to the National in Chicago. I think it was the National. Deion is there. I always tell this story. And this was when he had preliminary foot surgery on the foot that now has given him problems. He had surgery. He had to have some toes amputated. But back then, this is early 2000s. This is like 2001, I think. Exactly. 2001. We're in Chicago. Deion's like 40 minutes late to the signing. Bambino, 40 to 45 minutes late, bro. And he comes in and he's in a walking booth. So he's walking. He walks up. He doesn't sit down. He may have wanted to keep circulation going right. Whatever the reason was, doesn't sit down. But man, he starts signing autographs. This is the hilarious part to me. Some people may not think this is hilarious. He starts signing autographs. So let's say you give him a baseball, right? He will sign your baseball and roll it to you across the table. He was signing footballs in silver paint pen and rolling it to people across the table. So I'm back. I'm probably about 20 people back now. And I'm looking, I'm like, step out, like, what is he doing? And the people he's rolling this stuff to, they don't really know what to say. right? So that's it, like you see people trying to catch their ball on the table before you smear the ink, before you smear the paint. So I'm looking and I'm like, is he really rolling this to people? He's rolling stuff to people back, even bats, man. He would sign a bat and roll it. So I get up there and I'm like, Mr. Sanders, when you sign this, can you put it in my hand? Please don't roll this across the table. And he looks up like he's not even looking at people, Bambino. He's signing and just rolling. Signing, rolling. And when I say that to him, he kind of looks up at me and says, yeah, okay. Hands me my stuff. I leave. I'm turning around. I'm looking. He's back to signing and rolling. I took a jerk.
It's just interesting. I think that's awesome that you got him to do that. No, I mean just across I think there's etiquette in people in life knowing that you don't know unless you ask. Speak up.
Speak up. And I don't think a lot of people in that line they weren't. I remember I went to a show probably a little bit before COVID, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Deion's there signing. Sometimes I have people sign different people's jerseys. I may get multiple people sign a Bambino jersey. So I'm in line. I'm probably 20 feet away from Deion. And I had a player's jersey, and he looks at me and is like, no, I'm not signing it. No. Not signing that. And I was like, this was right before he announced Jackson State. And I was like, why won't you? He's like, oh, I have too much respect for that person. I can't sign that. Deion is this. I asked a promoter one time, who's the worst? And this promoter in LA did shows all the time. I mean, they do autograph shows all the time. I asked, who's the worst person to have an autograph signing with? And before I could even get that out, they was like, Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders is the worst person. Probably followed by Larry Bird. But Deion Sanders is the worst person to do an autograph signing with. And I just wonder why, if you don't want to do the autograph signing, I know these guys are getting paid, but why would you sign up to do the autograph signing if you really don't want to do it?
I don't know. What made Deion the worst though?
He has certain demands. He's probably gonna come late. He's probably gonna leave early. Those are the two things. He's gonna come late and leave early, and he's gonna have certain demands and talk to people a certain way while he's there. Those are the things. Because I asked that same question. What's up with Deion? Those are the things that I was told. And he's gonna probably reschedule this thing a few times. So they would always wait until a date was kind of locked down before they would announce, because they may have a role if they're taking in stuff for Deion, it becomes a logistical problem because he's gonna move that date on you.
I wonder, devil's advocate. I wonder if people took a different approach for these events and did it a different way, if they get a different response. For example, like doing a big sports card event, having them sign, you'd probably look, yeah, what do I care? Just a bunch of fans. Maybe not like that. But if you tie it into something that maybe he's passionate about, like this, like a Jackson State, and tie it into like maybe some type of foundation and people pay for it, I wonder if his reaction would be different.
Probably so. Could be.
Or if you made it some type of show for him, because like again, I just maybe it's my sales background, but find a way to tailor fit it to him, like make it so it's something exciting for him. It's prime time.
And what's funny is everybody has different things that they say about an athlete. I know a guy who bumped into Joe Montana in San Fran at the pier, and Joe didn't want to have anything to do with him. Didn't want to talk to him. Joe may have felt. I told the guy Joe may have felt like he was on his own personal time. He was with his family. He was with some people. Brendan says here, no way Jim Kelly was terrible. Now, I've met Jim Kelly. Man, I had an excellent experience with Jim Kelly. Excellent. Talked to me. I came with some stuff I wanted to sign on something. He kind of helped me organize that. I was laughing and joking. So I think sometimes we have to remember, too, that And then, like all these stories I told about Deion rolling, I found that hilarious. That was comedy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but at least throw it to me. Let me get a catch.
Yeah,
With
throw
Deion.
it, do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about Deion. Do something. And him not signing the one piece of thing that I had, I did not trip off of that. I didn't say this to me. Athletes are like all of us. If you rolled up on all of us in the given day, you might get different experiences.
Yeah.
People maybe they don't want to deal with that right now. Maybe they got someone there, like Draymond said, he has someone in his mind.
Right.
Who knows? But I like what you're saying about make them passionate about what they're doing instead of just something that I have to do. And I know I've been at shows too where athletes kind of catch it where the person getting the autographs are probably just as they're showing their own personal behavior. Is the best way I'll say it. To the athlete, while the athlete is there, to sign for everyone.
Yeah.
So who knows? Brendan said Jim Kelly made a kid cry to sign in once. Things happen. Let's go back to a Ziggy. Ziggy said, "Did you watch the new Netflix show, The Redeem Team?" You know what, Ziggy? Did you watch that, Bambino? I have not watched that. I'm really not. I don't know. I'm not really compelled to watch it. It's like feels forcefully made to me, and I don't.
What is it about? I have
it's
no idea.
About the Redeem Olympic team when Kobe, LeBron, Chris Paul, KD, everybody was on the team. Melo. It just is not something that, like, the personalities that's on that team is not something that makes me want to watch that. But probably at some point I will. But Ziggy, let us know what you thought about it. Yeah, Brendan, we are all human. Yep, we are all human. Because I've heard people say, "Man, Jim Brown was horrible." Met Jim Brown several times. All good. From the time I was 15 to not that long ago. Jim Brown's been all good. I've heard people say, "Man, Barry Bonds was beep to beep to beep" when I met him. I met Barry Bonds in 2015. Chilled, took his time signing, took probably too much time. The only autograph that I've ever waited 9 hours in line for, or 9 hours in a building for, was Barry Bonds. Talking to everybody, asking, taking pictures with kids. He wouldn't take pictures with any adults. Took pictures with kids. So, I mean, it just all depends. I can't tell you how many people I've met that. I remember back in that 2001 show with the Dallas Cowboys, Troy Aikman had a table. This was way before COVID. And had a table in front of that so that you could not shake his hand or even get close to him in a conversation. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable being that close to people. I don't know.
Oh, it's interesting. Glad you had great experience with several athletes. Is the type of we were talking about earlier. I guess a bunch of negativity being what people want to talk about. It's like,
and when I get up there too, Bambino, I talk to I don't talk to the person that's sitting by Bambino. I get up there and I talk to you. I'm talking directly to you. I may crack some jokes. I may ask you something about your career. Like we talked about Ray. I may get up there and ask a question like that.
I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, when we had, I can attest when I first met you when we did the deal in National, it's like we both talked about playing college football.
Yeah.
But it's like people are like, oh, that person was an asshole, but they're also that person was not so great. But it's like, or that person was an A.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like at the card show that the same person that goes, last comp was this. Will you take that?
It happens. So you know what I'm talking about. I've been standing there. I've been standing by people where it's like that.
It's like, oh, well, that guy said no. Yeah. That guy said no. He's an a-hole. It's like, yeah, we didn't even have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you just threw a number, and you're like, yeah, no. It's like, okay, because it didn't do that. Yeah, that sold like 3 years ago, and it's a 1 of 1.
Yeah.
Steph Curry rookie auto. Auto. You know, maybe I don't want to sell it for that price, or maybe it would if you had a conversation. But
Love What You Collect says people are crazy, just like the guy in the movie, The Bodyguard. Yeah, who ran up. Yep.
Trying to remember that movie.
Yeah, I think she's talking about the scene. Let me know, Love What You Collect. I think you're talking about the scene where the guy runs up on Whitney Houston, and he's a fan. He's a so-called fan of hers that's been kind of stalking her. Is that what you're talking about? And then Kevin Costner had to get his Kevin Costner on.
Okay. I'm not the biggest movie buff for sure.
Yes, that's the scene she's talking about.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I haven't seen The Bodyguard in years. I haven't watched it in years. That's the only thing that kind of jumped out at me. You should no movie watching.
I do, just sparingly. I'm not like heavy into it.
Did you get into like these Marvel TV shows, stuff like that? She-Hulk, Moon Knight.
I regretfully say I haven't tried She-Knight. I did do Moon Knight though.
What'd you think of Moon Knight?
Thought it was good. It was I liked the action, and like I thought it was gonna be a lot more stuff cut it out because it was Disney. But it was good. It was it was different. It was more like there was definitely some good action, but it was also like more like thinking, like what's gonna happen.
Did you think
it was interesting?
Did you think there could have been more action?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I thought.
But fingers crossed the Punisher comes back. Or
man.
They say Daredevil's coming back.
Oh yeah, Daredevil is. I think Daredevil's gonna be nice. People are calling for it. You know, Daredevil was in an episode of She-Hulk.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I heard.
But the Punisher, I think, is gonna be on a whole nother plane.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be surprised if it makes it past if it's approved by Disney.
I would hope so. You got to realize you can't water down the Punisher. Please don't water down the Punisher.
Yeah, no.
And you're gonna be in those bad movies that were made a long time ago.
Yeah. Can't even remember yet.
I'm trying to think of the name of the actor that was in it as the villain.
Yeah.
John Travolta. Yeah, John Travolta was a villain in one of the Punisher movies.
I prefer John Barenthal. He's definitely. I'm really bad at actors' names, but that's one I remember.
Yeah, he throws down, man. He's good in a lot of stuff that he plays in. He was good in Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. He gets into the role. Like, he becomes a totally different person.
Yeah.
Some people play the same roles and everything that you see him in. But he becomes the character. Love What You Collect asks a question. Thoughts on medicine?
Never got into it. That's just me. I'm sure it could be a thing, or it is a thing. I just got an email, I think, from Golden just did a partnership with MetaZoo. I'll check. I think it was Golden. Yeah, some type of partnership with them. I just haven't got into it. Everyone's got like their own lane, so I'm sure it's a thing. For sure.
I'm pretty sure too.
Collect what you like. I think that's what everything says. It's the same thing. So that's what you like. Definitely follow it and reach out to people that have been in it for a while.
Yeah, true.
Relatively new.
MetaZoo, anything else that comes in the future. There'll probably be other things that come out that's not sports related. Even if like tonight we talked about some quarterbacks. If you like those quarterbacks, you buy them. There are people in the NBA that you like. I fully support that.
Yeah.
I think
those quarterbacks. I keep them in inventory because people buy them. Like, so I'm gonna still buy them to sell them because it's what people want.
Yep. You go to shows, that's what you see. I'm pretty sure you're in Virginia. You're gonna probably see something similar to what I'm going to see. Some differences, but what I'm going to see this weekend at Del Mar. There's going to be certain players that are prevalent when you walk into that show.
For sure.
Zion, look at his name. LaMelo Ball, Julio Rodriguez. You might see some Wanda sitting somewhere. You might see some Jason Dominguez still. Some Kobe's here in LA. You're going to see Kobe. Does Kobe get love in Philly?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he's a Philly boy.
Mm-hmm. You listen to rap music, man? I usually ask these questions.
Say again?
You listen to rap music?
Yeah.
Who's your top 5 rappers all time?
All time? Not in order.
No order.
I would say Jay-Z. Like Tupac and Biggie.
Okay.
It's on the spot. I'm gonna go Nas.
Okay. Well respected. Okay. Number 5 is gonna be hot.
It's a tough one.
Now you can when you say this number 5, you already know you're gonna leave some people out. That's a 5A, 5B, 5C. You already know that. Because there's really more than 5 top rappers. I asked this question because I saw a list today from Jay-Z from back in the day. And he even named 5 and then said, there's this person, that person, this person.
Is it like music? Is it like impact?
I would say, for me, impact, lyrics, can you tell a story? And storytelling is about going.
This is gonna be this is just because of the impact. I'm gonna go with Wayne.
Okay. I respect
this new generation to keep it going.
And Wayne put out a list where he didn't even have Tupac on it. Think about that. And then Jay-Z had Coogee Rap on it.
Who are your 5?
I would say no order. Notorious Big, Tupac, Rakim, Jadakiss, and Nas.
I was thinking about who's 5?
Nas.
Damson, no Jay.
Not my.
I like the Jadakiss. I was thinking about Jadakiss. I was thinking hard.
Mm-hmm.
I like listening to Jadakiss and Cassidy a lot.
Well, I mean, we know the importance of Jay-Z in rap. Yeah. Very significant, very important. But I would probably have him at 6. We talk about this on here, man. I've had many guests on. I'm like, who's your top 5, top 10 in rap? We talk about it all on here, Bambino.
Nice, good.
Thomas?
It's a heavy impact and correlation with sports, though, for sure.
Big, huge.
Gotta have that pregame lineup ready.
Yeah.
Playlist.
Yeah. Somebody asked me at work the other day what songs I used to play before games.
That Roy Jones song, "Can't Be Shook," whatever.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my top songs.
Mm-hmm. Ricky Housewright says Thomas Jane was the Punisher in that movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Okay. Yeah, the movie with John Travolta. That was very interesting. When I heard he was going to be the villain, I was like, don't know about that.
What about your top 3 to 5 TV shows?
TV shows like comedies or what kind of shows?
Any kind.
So I used to watch. So what it really kicked off every almost cop-related TV show was an old show back in the 80s called Hill Street Blues.
Okay.
So Hill Street Blues is top. St. Elsewhere. It's probably a big show. I love the Good Times and Jeffersons shows. And I probably top in number 5. I'd probably say The Simpsons.
Nice.
grew up with The Simpsons. I remember watching the Tracy Ullman show years ago when The Simpsons came on before they went to commercial.
Yeah.
That's where The Simpsons originated. So people might say, man, FD, you just named very different shows. I watch a lot of different kind of stuff. Try to listen to as much different music. I was talking to someone about this the other day, as I possibly can. I try to shake it. That's right. So you love what you collect. Damn. From Good Time. Florida Evans, everybody. Yeah. That's what we grew up watching, man. Then the Bill Cosby show came out, and a lot of stuff changed. But I think the Cosby show came out, and I was in like 5th grade, 6th grade. Every Thursday night, people, we were all running home to watch the Cosby show.
Nice.
That's a good question. What are your favorite TV shows? I think that's got people shook because I don't even see a lot of people chiming in on that one. It's a nice question. Well, you know, Bambino, I appreciate you being here.
No, thank you. I want to link up again in person next time.
We got to see each other in person, but I want to have you on What's to Play again in the future, too.
Yeah, let me know. I'd love to be on. I appreciate even having the opportunity today to be on.
You know, a big part to me of this show I always wanted was to bring people from the community who are very active in the community. You've worn a lot of different hats in the community over time to come here and share their knowledge of what they've seen, what they experienced, and what's ever evolving around them. You're going to be at the Chantilly show this weekend. I'm going to be at the Del Mar show. Probably two of them.
Chantilly next weekend, Denver this weekend.
Okay, Denver. You're going to be. I've heard great things about this Denver show. Actually, JD and I, who I do What's the Flavor with, JD was talking about the Denver show. I told him I want to go to that show at some point. I've never been to Denver.
Oh, it's nice. It's beautiful.
Where are you located out of? What state are you
I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
Oh, you're in Pennsylvania. Okay. Yeah.
What about you?
I'm in LA, a little bit north of LA.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you again at a show in the future. Probably walk a show with you if we could.
Yeah, when was the next? You said the next one is Burbank, I guess that was.
The bigger one is Burbank Super Bowl weekend.
What about even if it's not big? Is there anything before this New Year?
Oh yeah, we got Premiere has some shows coming up.
Yeah, I just want to make it out. How far are you from Frankinson's?
Oh, not that far at all. I used to live very close to Frankinson's. Now I'm probably about an hour and 15 minutes away.
Have you been recently?
We went to Frankinson's.
I think I saw a post about it.
Yeah, we went to Frankinson's maybe a little over a month ago. And then I went to Frankinson's a little bit before that and picked up a raw Bowman rookie card of Steph Curry that I'm going to submit at Del Mar tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow to have graded.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely highly recommend if you have stuff that you want to get raw card reviewed by Beckett, do it first thing.
Okay. That's my goal tomorrow.
I got so excited. I had my pile ready. Took it midday towards the end of Saturday, and they said we are done.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely do it as soon as I get to tomorrow. I'm planning to get to tomorrow early. That's going to be the first thing that I do. Because I've been waiting on this. I want to submit some of these cards and see what comes back. If it's a 9, I'm happy. If it's an 8, I'm happy. Yeah, I've been trying to. This is my first kind of buy raw of a decent card that you want and then get it graded. And there's going to be others that are going to be submitted with this one. And then some I've already had prepped and ready to go after them. I've been trying to buy more raw, even on eBay, other places in person, and then grade. So we'll see how these things work out.
Oh, it's great. Just got to make sure get a nice bright light to look under, a loop, and microfiber cloth to wipe any, especially for like the prism type cards.
Yes.
Nice.
Now I'll hit you up, Bambino, if I have questions about something. I know that you have a wealth of knowledge, man.
Yeah, no problem. Feel free to do so. I'll try to make it out there before the end of the year. Have you been to Dallas?
I have not been to Dallas yet. I want to go in 2023, probably after July.
Okay.
Right between July and November, I like to go to Dallas. You've been, correct?
Yeah, I went this past June. I'm gonna go again next month.
Okay.
I told them I would commit to all 2023.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll let you know in plenty enough time once we mark down a date.
Sounds good.
So that you know. We can have dinner, we can watch the show together, we can do some stuff.
Good. Sounds great.
Yes, sir. So now around this time, I ask people who they're rolling with for the intro. You saw the intro. Right?
Rolling with FD, you already know.
So, okay, I'm going to say this one more time, just so we can record it and get it right. And then we're going to put you in the intro, okay? So, Bambino Sports Cars, you got to let me know who you rolling with.
We are rolling with FD.
Yeah. I appreciate you, bro, for real. I want to let people know you can go to a show. Bambino and I had never met each other before the 2021 National. And within 2 seconds, I knew this was a person I was in contact with. I took his Instagram down. I started following him. He started following me. And we stayed in contact over time. I comment on stuff that he puts up. He does the same with me. And we started talking about car grading companies' prices changing. And I said, man, this will be a good time. I rolled out tomorrow to Delmar. I wanted to get on with him before that. This would be a good time to have this conversation because I didn't want to push it back until later in the month. And this is how we're here. So this is just testimony right now of meeting people at shows, having conversations with them, building rapport with them, staying in contact with them, and growing a relationship that you've built. My main goal that day was to walk around and try to. I had some Topps Series 1 and Series 2 basketball cards from Chris Webber's rookie year, and I wanted to sell those. Man, those had been in a closet ever since I bought them. And when you and I was tripping on the price that were on them, those have been in the closet for years, man, in storage. So when I got there, I said, and then I sold the cards to you, walked right across the show, and purchased a large, oversized Kareem card. I forgot what year was from his career. And that card was raw. It was just a cool card to have. I still have it. I mean, those are I can remember that right now. Those are the interactions that you have that are cool in the hobby. And I would tell people that day I had walked around. A few people were interested in the cars. Some people weren't. And then we ran into Bambino. And it's a pleasure so that I can remember that story. And we have you on the show right now. And I'm going to tell you all, this is a humble individual, right? But this person has a lot of knowledge in the hobby. If you're watching this, hit him up, ask him some questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, he'll respond to you. I respect him a lot. I've talked to other people that know you, Bambino, over time. Oh, man, you bumped it in? Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's good. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's an honor to have you here, man.
It's an honor to be on. And I think to close up the bill, what you're saying, yeah, guys, have a conversation. Just be genuine like FD is, and it goes a long way. Helps close deals and really relationships and, over a long period of time. So I appreciate it. Look forward to continue having a conversation and, building a relationship.
Well, brother, we'll have you on before the end of the year.
Awesome.
We'll talk about more things that's happening in sports. I love having conversation with you as well as some other people who can talk about sports. We can talk about music. We can talk about what's happening with cars. You can have a vast conversation about many, many different things. So I'll hit you with some dates from now to the end of the year. We'll have you back on, and it'll be more fun.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Shoot me the local show calendar too.
I will. Yep. I'll hit you with that tonight. I'll hit you with the individual pages too that they're on. I don't know if you follow them already. If you do, you do. I'll hit you with the show locator. Do you follow the show locator?
Yeah, I do, but I don't always get their notifications. I don't follow their notifications or see their feed all the time.
Okay.
I remember you sent that to me a while ago too, so I appreciate that.
Yep, and I'll send you Premiere tonight, so those shows go on. And Premiere is held by Jay and Colby, and Jay is part of the Burbank team that organizes the Burbank Car Show, but he also does the Premiere show.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're going to be going into 2 new locations in the LA area from now to the end of the year. Kind of growing those shows. Those shows were very good sized shows. You're talking about 100, 125 tables. So now they're going to get a little bit bigger.
Awesome. And then for Claire, Del Mar is like more San Diego, is it? Or is it not?
Yeah, it's 20 minutes north of San Diego.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, people can fly into San Diego. You got a short trip up, short Uber up. The cool thing is that the main hotel, this is going to be the Hobby Hotel this time, the Hilton, right across the street from the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Before it had so many rooms blocked out for the event. Now the entire hotel is the event. So if you have trade nights, yeah. So if trade nights spill into going to be in the lobby, no one there is upset because there's extra noise in the lobby because we're all here for this event.
That's big news. I don't think enough people realize, guys, that they rent out the hotel. That's how big it is out west. If you guys are on the East Coast, like, we need more unity like that. Not just that's one thing I take part, and I appreciate the West Coast. A lot of unity I see to make big things happen.
Well, I can't wait to see you out here at the show, man, or meet you at next year's National or anything like that. And we're gonna spend more time together while we're there.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, bro. Tell Giovanni, tell everybody that I said what's up. My family said what's up.
All right, tell Junior and the family hello.
Will do. And I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, take it easy. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Love, peace, and chicken grease. Yes, sir. Talk to you later.